What happens when a kid who dies of cancer gets reborn into a world where gods literally wage war across infinite realms? Ji Ning happened, and his story is absolutely insane. This is Desolate Era, one of the greatest cultivation novels ever written, and we're breaking the entire thing down, start to finish, no skipping. Let's go. So before all the insane cultivation, before the cosmic battles, Ji Ning was just a regular kid on modern Earth. Terminal illness. He was dying, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. But here's where it gets interesting. When he dies, he doesn't just vanish. He enters the netherworld, basically the afterlife, where a judge looks at his karma and goes, yeah, you lived a decent life. You get to reincarnate with your memories intact. And here's the kicker. He gets reborn into a clan called the Ji clan in a massive world where cultivation is literally everything. His father is Ji Chuan, a pretty strong cultivator, and his mother is Yuchi Snow, who, spoiler alert, doesn't make it very long. She's terminally ill too. Like, this kid cannot catch a break with the whole people dying around him thing. His mother passes away when he's young, and it absolutely wrecks him. This isn't just backstory filler either. This loss becomes the entire driving force of Ji Ning's character for like the whole novel. He wants to bring her back. He wants to reverse fate itself. Remember that, it's important. But Ji Ning isn't just sitting around crying. The kid starts training, and because he has memories from his past life, an adult's mind in a child's body, he picks things up insanely fast. Swordplay, natural talent. Cultivation techniques, absorbs them like a sponge. His dad teaches him, and Ning just speed runs the early stages. One of his earliest real tests is the Aquatic Manor, this ancient underwater palace filled with traps and treasures. Most kids his age would die in there, but Ji Ning's past life memories give him an edge nobody else has. He thinks strategically, he analyzes patterns. While other young cultivators are swinging wildly, Ning is reading the room. In that manner, he clears it, gets some seriously powerful treasures from it too, including his first real cultivation resources. Eventually, Ning faces off against some real threats: the Aquatic Manor test, monstrous beasts in the wild, rival clans, standard cultivation stuff. But the way he handles it is anything but standard. The kid is a prodigy with the blade, and I mean legitimate once-in-a-million-years prodigy. He comprehends the Tao of the sword at a stupidly young age. His father dies protecting the clan. Yeah, both parents gone before the story even really kicks into gear. Ji Ning is basically an orphan in a brutal cultivation world where the strong eat the weak, but instead of breaking, he hardens. He takes that pain and channels it into his cultivation, and honestly, that's the whole vibe of this novel. Pain becomes power. After proving himself in the clan, Ning gets sent to the Black-White College, which is basically Hogwarts if Hogwarts was run by ancient Chinese immortals and the detention was getting hit by lightning tribulations. This is where Ning starts meeting people who will matter for the rest of the story. At the college, Ning meets Mu Northsun, who becomes his ride-or-die brother. And more importantly, he starts actually understanding just how vast this world is. The Ji clan? Tiny. The world they live in? One of countless. The three realms, heaven, earth, and the netherworld, are governed by beings so powerful they make his dad look like a tutorial NPC. At the college, Ning also starts mastering formations and divine abilities beyond just swordplay. He learns the Lesser Thousand Sword formation, where he controls hundreds of flying blades simultaneously. It's absolutely ridiculous and borderline unfair. Imagine fighting a guy who already has insane melee skills, and then he pulls out a technique where he rains down 500 glowing swords from the sky. That's Ning.
And then the Conclave of Immortal Destiny happens. This is basically a massive tournament where the best young cultivators from across the Grand Sha world compete for insane rewards. And Ning, he goes in, like absolutely dominates. His swordsmanship is so clean that even ancient celestial immortals are impressed. He catches the attention of some absolute monsters, Tao Father level beings who want to take him as a disciple, and one of them is Subodhi. Now, Subodhi is kind of a big deal. We're talking about one of the most powerful beings in the entire three realms. Having him as a master is like getting personally trained by the final boss of the universe. Ning accepts, and his cultivation trajectory goes vertical. Training under Subodhi is on a completely different level. The Tao Father teaches Ning things that most cultivators couldn't learn in 10,000 years. Sword techniques, Tao comprehension methods, even space and time manipulation. Ning absorbs it all at a pace that even Subodhi finds impressive. And Subodhi doesn't get impressed easily. The man has trained students for literal millions of years. For Ning to stand out in that lineup, That says everything. Now here's where things get really interesting. Yu Wei. She's a fellow cultivator Ning meets, and they fall in love, and it's genuinely sweet. Two people finding each other in this brutal, endless grind of cultivation. They get married, they're happy, and if you know anything about cultivation novels, that happiness, it's got an expiration date. A really short one. Because war is coming. The Endwar. The Seamless Gate, this massive alliance of powerful beings, wants to overthrow the Nuwa Alliance, which includes most of the guardians of the Three Realms. We're talking a conflict that spans entire worlds, with Dao Fathers and world gods clashing on a scale that makes mortal wars look like playground scuffles. The scale of the Endwar is honestly hard to even describe. We're not talking about two armies fighting on a field. We're talking about celestial immortals hurling entire star systems at each other, Dao Fathers ripping apart dimensions, the very fabric of the Three Realms threatening to tear itself apart. And in the middle of all this chaos, individual battles are happening that would be considered world-ending events on their own. It's that kind of war. Ji Ning fights in the war, and he fights hard. His swordsmanship has reached a point where he's legitimately one of the strongest celestial immortals around. But the Seamless Gate, they're playing dirty, and they set a trap that targets the person Ning cares about most. Yu Wei, his wife, gets captured, and here's the gut punch. She was being manipulated by the Seamless Gate the entire time. Not willingly, they had leverage on her, things she couldn't escape from, but the result is the same. She's taken. Ning can't save her, and it absolutely destroys him. This is the emotional turning point of the entire novel. But Ning doesn't break. He channels that loss, just like when his parents passed, into pure, burning motivation. He needs to get stronger. Not just celestial immortal strong, not just world god strong. He needs to reach a level where nobody can take anything from him ever again. He needs to touch the Tao, the actual fundamental laws of reality. After the Endwar ends, and it's messy, lots of casualties on both sides, Ning leaves the Three Realms. That's right, the world he grew up in is basically a pond compared to the ocean that is the Chaosverse. He ventures out into the wider cosmos, where the power levels jump from really strong to casually creating and destroying entire worlds. The Chaosverse is so massive that the Three Realms, everything Ning has known, is just a single territory within it, one small piece. There are countless other territories, each with their own world gods and eternal emperors, and the dangers completely different from what Ning is used to. Ancient ruins of fallen autarchs, chaos world beasts that can swallow entire realms, cultivators so old they've forgotten more Daos than most beings will ever learn. In the Chaosverse, Ning discovers just how small the Three Realms actually are. There are beings called Autarchs, the absolute peak of existence, who govern entire Chaosverses. These guys are so powerful that Dao Fathers are like ants to them, and Ning, he's got his eyes set on that level, because only an Autarch could even dream of reviving someone who's been truly gone. He trains under various masters in the wider cosmos, fights in Dao wars, and his understanding of Sword Dao reaches genuinely terrifying levels. He creates his own Sword Dao techniques, Omega Sword Dao, which becomes so powerful that even senior cultivators are like, what the hell is this kid doing? His evolution from a talented mortal to a cosmic level threat, it's chef's kiss. His Omega Sword Dao isn't just one technique, it's an entire framework of sword arts that Ji Ning built from scratch. 5 stances, each representing a different aspect of the Tao: solitude, space-time, yin-yang, life-death, karma. Most eternal emperors master a single supreme Tao and call it a day. Ning is trying to fuse 5 of them into his sword. It's like trying to solve 5 different Rubik's Cubes simultaneously while someone throws them at your face. But here's the thing about cultivation. There's a wall that almost nobody can cross, the Daomerge. It's the final breakthrough to become an Autarch, and it has an absolutely brutal success rate. We're talking like almost 0. You either merge with the Supreme Dao and become an Autarch, or you fail and stay stuck at your current level forever. No retries, no second chances. To put the Daomerge in perspective, throughout the entire history of the Chaosverse, spanning trillions upon trillions of years, only a handful of beings have ever succeeded. That's how rare it is. And the consequences of failure aren't just stuck at your current level. Your cultivation permanently stalls. You can never improve again. For someone like Ji Ning, whose entire motivation is reaching the peak to revive his wife, failure means giving up on that dream forever. and Ji Ning fails the Daomerge. I'll say that again. The protagonist, the guy we've been following for hundreds of chapters, fails the most important breakthrough of his life. He doesn't become an Autarch, and because his body was running on borrowed time, a byproduct of a Chaos First level condition, he now has a limited lifespan. He's literally dying. Again. This is where most protagonists would get a miracle save, some hidden power-up, a mysterious elder, a cheat code from the author. But I Eat Tomatoes said no. Ji Ning stays at the Eternal Emperor level. He doesn't get the Daomerge, and he has to figure out another way forward. And honestly, that's what makes this novel hit different from every other screenshot out there. Despite failing, Ning doesn't give up. He refines his Omega Sword Dao to such an absurd degree that even without being an Autarch, he becomes genuinely dangerous to Autarch-level threats. His sword techniques are so perfectly crafted that even beings who've existed for unfathomable ages consider it a work of art. Ning earns his place not through raw strength, but through craft, and I think that's beautiful. Then comes the biggest threat the entire Chaosverse has ever faced, the Yin-Yang Scion and the forces of destruction from outside the Chaosverse. We're talking entities that want to unmake reality itself, not conquer it, unmake it. And the Autarchs, even they're struggling. They need help. They need someone crazy enough and skilled enough to make a difference. The entities from beyond the Chaosverse are something else entirely. They don't operate by the same rules. The DAOs that every cultivator relies on, these things are immune to them. It's like showing up to a chess match and your opponent flips the board because they don't play chess. The Autarchs have to get creative. And Ning, his Omega Sword Dao, the one he built from failure, turns out to be uniquely suited to harming these entities because it doesn't follow a standard DAO framework either. Ji Ning steps up, and what follows is one of the most insane final arcs in Cultivation fiction. He fights alongside Autarchs, takes on world-ending threats, and pushes his Omega Sword Dao beyond anything anyone thought possible, all while his body is slowly failing, all while the clock is ticking. The man is fighting the apocalypse on a timer. If that doesn't go hard, I don't know what does. Through the final battle, Ning does something no one expected. He takes his Failed Daomerge, the thing that was supposed to be his greatest failure, and turns it into a weapon. His unique Sword Dao combined with his understanding of multiple DAOs that he couldn't merge creates something entirely new, something the Autarchs themselves have never seen. The moment of his breakthrough is genuinely one of the most satisfying chapters in all of Ciencia. Ning takes all 5 stances of his Omega Sword Dao, Solitude, Space-Time, Yin-Yang, Life-Death, and Karma, and does what no one thought possible. He doesn't merge them the conventional way. He lets each one exist independently, but resonates them together, like 5 different instruments playing in perfect harmony. A new Dao, his own Dao, born from failure. He breaks through, not in the traditional way, not through a standard Daomerge, but through a path that is entirely his own. Ji Ning becomes an Autarch, not because some ancient technique showed him the way, not because a master handed him the answer, but because he forged his own Dao from his failures, his losses, and his refusal to ever stop swinging that damn blade. And with Autarch-level power, the very first thing Ji Ning does, he revives Yu Wei, his wife, the woman he lost during the Endwar, the woman whose loss has been driving him for over half the novel. He brings her back, and man, after everything this guy has been through, that scene hits like a truck. He also revives his parents, his mother, the one he lost as a child, his father, the one who gave everything to protect the clan. Everyone he couldn't save before, now he can. That's the payoff. Hundreds of chapters of pain, of loss, of grinding against impossible odds, and it all comes back to a boy who just wanted his family back. There's a scene after the revivals where Ning just sits with his mother. They talk about his childhood on Earth, about his life in the 3 realms, about everything he went through. And his mother, who missed all of it, listens. It's so quiet compared to the cosmic battles that came before, but it hits harder than any of them, because this is what it was always about. Not the power, not the prestige, just a son who wanted to see his mom again. The novel ends with Ji Ning having transcended beyond what even Autarchs normally achieve. He's reached a level of existence where he can create chaos verses of his own. He lives peacefully with Yue and his family, occasionally training disciples, occasionally going on adventures. No more war, no more desperate struggles, just peace. For a character who has known nothing but loss and battle since the day he was born, he finally rests. So why is Desolate Era special? Look, there's a million Cultivation novels out there. Most of them follow the same formula: weak kid gets strong, beats everyone, the end. But Desolate Era does something different. The protagonist fails. He fails the most important challenge of his life, and then he picks himself up and finds another way. That's not just good fiction, that's genuinely inspirational writing disguised as a power fantasy. And the emotional core, his wife, his parents, the people he lost, is what separates Ning from every generic Cultivation MC. He's not just fighting to be number one, he's fighting to bring back the people he loves. Every single power-up, every single breakthrough, every single near miss, it all comes back to love, which is wild for a genre that's usually about punching mountains. I Eat Tomatoes is known for his world building. Coiling dragons, stellar transformations, swallowed star, but Desolate Era is where he really perfected the formula. The power scaling is clean, the world expands naturally, and the ending doesn't feel rushed or forced. It feels earned. Every single chapter of struggle paid off in that final moment when Ning revived his wife. If you haven't read Desolate Era yet, go read it, seriously. It's one of those novels that sticks with you long after you finish. Ji Ning's journey from a dying kid to a cosmic god who just wanted his family back is peak Xianxia, no contest. Drop your favorite moment in the comments. Was it the Daomerge failure, the Endwar, Yue's return? Let me know. And that's Desolate Era, the entire story, from a kid's rebirth to an Autarch's eternal peace. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that subscribe button because we are going to be doing a lot more full novel breakdowns. Next up, you're not going to want to miss it. I'll see you legends in the next one. Peace!